Hi, I'm Jeff Schwartz of Schwartz Performance. This is our November 2015 update. A project we're working on. This one happens to be the S10 that you've been following along, and we've installed our nitrous outlet nitrous system, and we've got our billet reservoirs for the clutch and brake master cylinders, and then we've also fabricated up some hoses for the air conditioning system. In this case, we're using Vintage Air as always. On a previous episode, we showed you this tonneau cover we fabricated, and what we've got here now is we've installed the gas struts, and we've got these push-button locks that are a nice feature to keep the nitrous bottle and the dry sump tank secure in there. They have a ball stud that they actually lock on, and it's a pretty slick setup. This truck is getting really close, and now we're going to start doing final body fitment, and then obviously bodywork, finishing bodywork and painting. This is kind of a cool car. It's actually a real grandma car. 13,000 original miles on this 78 Nova. What's it doing here? I can't tell you. But if you see this at a stoplight, you might want to have second thoughts about racing it. This month it seems like everybody's building pickup trucks. This is a Chevy C10 68 to 72 chassis. This one's getting a 572 big block and a 4L80E. Over here we've got a 49 Chevy pickup, and I'm not sure what engine this one's getting, but we're doing a chassis for that. It's similar to what we had under our 49 Chevy shop truck. We've made a number of improvements based on all the racing and autocross we did on that, so anxious to get that one out on the road. Here we've got a 69 Firebird that's a really nice car. It also has our Schwartz G-Machine chassis, as well as our 675 horse LS7 and a Tremec T56 Magnum in there. Forged line wheels. So we're doing the steering column installation right now. This is going to be a great car. Can't wait to see this one going down the road. This 67 Nova was purchased as a completely built car, and the owner didn't like how it rode. The aftermarket suspension, as typical of most aftermarket suspension, had really short coilover shocks with virtually no travel at ride height. So you hit any dip in the road, it was a harsh bottoming out, and it was clunking, and it wasn't very fun to drive. So we ended up re-engineering the lower control arms, put longer RideTech coilovers, and these have 5.2 inches of travel, much smoother ride. Owner's really happy with the way it drives. However, the small block Chevy and Turbo 350 aren't really up to the caliber of the paint job and the suspension on this car. So he wants a little bit more power. We call that project creep, when the project creeps up a little higher than you expected. So anyway, he decided to put a 585 horse ZL1 Camaro engine, the supercharged LSA. And we're also doing a built-up 4L65E transmission along with a bigger drive shaft. This Nova has really cool billet specialties wheels, and they look really good on this car. However, if you look at the brake package in there, they're a little dainty for this thing, especially when we're adding the 585 horse engine. So these are getting upgraded with the Bear Pro Plus brakes, 14-inch rotors and 6-piston calipers. They're really going to have some awesome stopping power. On previous updates, we showed you the 2015 Z06 Corvette that we have for track testing and comparing our vehicles to that vehicle. And one of the issues with high-performance vehicles is the cooling system. Many people upgrade the horsepower, but they forget about upgrading the cooling system. So when we build a car here, we always upgrade the cooling system, most often with a B-Cool radiator, a much larger aluminum radiator that's more efficient and lighter weight than the original copper type radiators. But in the case of the 2015 Z06, it's no secret that those cars have had a problem overheating on racetrack use. One of those things is the lap times equate whether you have an overheating problem. So if you're driving the car at 90% of its capability, it's pretty likely you're going to have an overheating problem on hot days when it's above 70, 75 degrees. If you're driving the car at 75%, you won't really have the problem. So many people out there are enjoying their Z06s on the track and not having an issue. However, if you do a Google search on it, you'll find that there are people that are having severe overheating problems. What we have here is the original factory Z06 Corvette Radiator, and it's very dainty and petite, and it does have very small rows of cooling tubes, and they're very closely spaced. That's good. Having more cooling tubes is a good thing. However, the radiator is still quite small. What we have over here is the DeWitt's radiator. Most of the larger capacity of the DeWitt radiator is due to the thickness. The tank is much larger and thicker, so you've got more coolant capacity, over a gallon as I mentioned earlier, and then the core also is much thicker. If you look here, the thickness of the core is more than 50% thicker. So when you're upgrading your cooling system or driving your car hard on the track, you do need to upgrade your cooling system. 70 Chevelle Convertible. We're almost done with the outer body work on this. However, the owner decided he wanted the bottom painted, so we've cleaned all the undercoating off there and are doing some spot blasting in spots. Normally when we do a car of this caliber, we dip or blast the entire body. However, when this project started, the owner just wanted us to undercoat the bottom of it or put truck bed liner on it and just have a nice paint job on the outside, but the bottom have it be more of a driver car. Project creep again, and now we're cleaning up the bottom, and this will get painted nice and shiny just like the top of the car. This is the Raybestos Mustang, and the bumpers normally kind of hang out on the side here, so what Jason's done is he's done some metal fab work, split the bumper, tucked it in, and basically made them really nice tight fitting to the body work. We still have to do a little bit of work on the bottom, and the bumper will get extended down a little bit to match the valance more closely. But the look of this is much better than the way the factory is. We've got just a small, like 1/8 inch gap all the way around here, and should look a lot better than your typical bolt-on bumper on the back of a original car. This 69 Camaro convertible came into us already painted, and what we found was some substandard repairs underneath things. So the owner had asked us to look at the floor pans and take a look, and what we found was not really great repairs. So what we did was take the entire floor pan out and put an entire new floor pan in. So this is all done now, and now we have a structural car. We also had to do some work behind the floor pan where it attaches to the rocker, and all that rust has been repaired and blasted, and now we're all good to go. Solid floor for this big black powered machine. On these mid-year Corvettes, they have a lot of chassis flex in this area back here where the rear kick-up goes up over the axles, and these cars are made out of fiberglass, obviously, so when you get chassis flex, a lot of these old cars have like stress cracks on the fiberglass of the body. So in our Schwartz G-Machine chassis that we've engineered for these mid-year Corvettes, we've put a brace here that runs diagonally from the main cross member up to the tail section to support that. And this is a design feature not found on other chassis. Unfortunately, you do have to do a slight trimming of the luggage area here in order to fit that in there. So just a minor modification required to have some huge benefits in chassis stiffness, especially if you're putting bigger engines like this one's getting a 675 horse LS7. So we finally wrapped up this 52 Chevy pickup. As you can see, we've got 335 tires in the back, Michelin Pilot PS2s, along with the Forgeline grip forged wheels. And it's a two-tone metallic black, almost like a charcoal, along with the metallic red. So really a striking color combination. We carried that theme into the interior, and it has a 520 horse LS3 6-speed manual transmission and our Schwartz G-Machine chassis. So we've still got a few little details to wrap up. We've got little green tape here and there where we've got to tighten bolts or lubricate hinges or so forth, but essentially it's all wrapped up, and we're waiting for the magazine Custom Classic Trucks to shoot it for a feature story. In here we've got the 520 Horse Ls3 that we put together along with the smooth firewall. We've got shrink tube clamps for the hoses, and then we've got the Be Cool radiator. Our mass airflow sensor is right here along with the intake tube, and we actually have a cold air intake where the filter is behind a splash shield on the inner fender. So it gets cold air, lots of horsepower, and then you can see we ran our vintage air lines over here. Sometimes we hide these on the inner fenders, but on this one we wanted a better serviceability, so we just ran them all in one row up to the bulkhead connector here. Again, vintage air systems is what we use. So we're working on the Studebaker project. Mark here is taking the instruments out, making sure that they don't get damaged. He's our electrical expert here. And we're going to use the stock gauges with this application. We're going to refinish the dash in the original color, and then the gauges will get refurbished and we're going to reuse them in the stock location. This car, believe it or not, had 4 different gauges in it like a normal sports car would have. Kind of odd for a 1950 Studebaker. The door panel here is like some type of cloth material, and then it's got a vinyl on the bottom with this nice piece of bright trim separating the two. What we've decided to do was go a little upscale on the interior, so we're going to use a suede up in this area, and then we'll have leather from this down to here, and then we're going to have this German carpet on the bottom for our door panels. So this is the seat from the Studebaker, and we wanted to keep this part as a part of our project. One of the reasons is I really like how the seat swings forward at more of a severe angle than modern cars, so it allows real easy access to the back seat. It's got a slider mechanism with a knob right here that you pull up, and it's got this nice piece of metal work here that finishes off the base of it. So we're basically going to reshape the contour of this. We'll get rid of the springs and use high density foam, and then it'll have more of a contoured seat with bolsters on it to hold you in place when we go around corners. And as you know, this thing is going to rock around the corners. This is the rear seat from the Studebaker. We're going to do a similar pattern where we put high density foam here, build some bolsters, dish it out a little bit so it looks like the front seat when it's done. Also, if we want to haul passengers around and take a ride around the autocross course, they'll hold them in place. Here's the colors we picked out for the seats on this Studebaker project. This is the leather. It's called Hunter, and it's a little darker color. And then this color here, which is called Latte, this is a suede material. So we're going to have leather and suede. The inserts will have suede, and then the rest of the seat will be done in leather, as well as the door panels will have both of these materials on them as well. For carpeting, we're going to use this product here, which is a BMW Mercedes type carpet, and you can see our colors will actually go pretty well with that. This is the color we've chosen for the Studebaker project. It's a 2014 GM color. I'm going to lay it on the door jamb here, and you can kind of see the difference. It does change in light, and this is not the best light, but it's this color here. It's a metallic grayish green, and it's very close in shade to the original. It actually matches a little bit better out in the sunlight and the natural light, but it's this color here, and this is the original color, dark green, gray green. We showed you this beautiful 59 Chevy a while back, and this has our 520 horse Ls3 along with the G-Machine chassis underneath it and a 6-speed manual. Beautiful leather interior, kind of a stock motif on the dash with Dakota instruments in there, and he's got some Billet Specialties wheels, the 14-inch bare brakes. Anyway, the owner decided that he wants to sell this car, so if anybody's interested in it and you got a spare $250,000 laying around, give us a call and I'll hook you up with them. A beautiful car, and just awesome.